What's up, guys? Almighty Ace2XX back in a video today. I'm here coming back with another storytime video. This storytime video is actually pretty sad, but pretty crazy at the same time. But hopefully you guys enjoy the storytime, and let's get right into it. So this was about junior year of my high school years, about junior year, and in high school, you tend to date a lot of girls. I dated a lot of girls, you know what I'm saying? They called me Lady Catcher for a reason at that time. So I was dating a lot of girls at that time, right? But, I had exes at the time. I had exes as well that went to the same school and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So, some exes would watch me. Some exes would talk mess about me. Some exes would even, push me in the hallways and stuff like that, or walk past me, or just, be friendly sometimes and stuff like that, right? So, but one time, this was not a friendly encounter. Let me explain. So listen, it was one day, and I was walking to my science class, right? I was walking to my science class, I was hanging out with the boys, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I see one of my exes, and she's over here watching me, looking at me and stuff like that, right? Like rolling her, like twisting her hair and chewing her gum and stuff, looking at me, right? So I'm just like, I'll put my head up. I was like, yo, it's like a cool guy. Like I put my head up, I was like, what's up? And she just smiled, and then she just walked away, right? So, I didn't think anything of it at the time. Like, I just thought, hey, maybe she wants to get back together with me, or maybe she just wants to, put the meat together, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Birds and the bees. So, I look at it that way. So, I just didn't pay no attention to it. So I just walked back to class, walked to class and stuff after hanging out with my homeboys and stuff. So when class ended, it was lunchtime. So we just left out of there. And I was walking with the boys and stuff, just chilling. We were talking, throwing the football around and stuff like that and things like that, right? So I see her, and she comes up to me, and she says, hey. And I was like, yo, what's up? And then all the boys at the table, they're like, ooh. I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. So and then she was like, I want to talk to you. So I was like, okay, bet. So we talk, and she just says, hey, I miss you, right? And I was like, I mean, that's fine that you miss me and all, but I just don't miss you, like I don't like you anymore. What we had was special and all, it was good and all, but we're just not like that anymore. We're not compatible, you know what I'm saying? I said that we're not compatible, we're not meant for each other. So it's like, you need to get lost and beat it. Like Michael Jackson said, just beat it. So, I told her to just just beat it. And then she was like, oh, that's really how you want to play like that? And I said, what do you mean play like what? I ain't playing like nothing. This is just the point of the obvious. Like, I just don't want to be with you no more. That's just the facts. And then she got really upset about it. So she was like, okay, you'll see. So I was like, what the heck? I'm like, okay. So she got mad at me. And the whole day, she just gave me this angry look the whole time. Like, she gave me this angry look the whole entire time. So I'm like, okay, screw you. So next day of school arrives, we chilling. It was early in the morning, way early. It was like, I got there early. I don't even know why, but she was there surprisingly. And we were walking, and all of a sudden I tripped, right? I had my shoe was untied. I tripped, and also I fell on top of her, right? I fell on top of her, but not only that, my lips touched her lips. So I was like, oh no. So we kissed on accident. So we accidentally kissed, right? And then I got up off of her. I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I said, are you okay? Because clearly, even though she was my ex, I still cared about her, you know what I'm saying? So I got up, I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, are you sure? She was like, yes, I'm fine. I just want you to do it again. I was like, do what again? She's like, kiss me. I'm like, what? And I'm like, it was a girl, so why would I not kiss her? You know what I'm saying? So, I kissed her, we made out, stuff like that on the floor. That's like outside on the floor. All the kids was like looking, and like, not the kids, but like the teenagers, they were all looking and stuff. And they were like, ew, and I was like, shut up. And I was like that, and, it was a weird day. So after a little bit of that, APs came and almost took us to the office, almost got us in this alternative school if we didn't stop. So, we stopped it and stuff like that. So throughout the whole day of school, everything was going fine. Everything was going perfectly fine, right? Until all of a sudden it wasn't. So, I was chilling, talking to the boys and stuff, just chilling, talking to the boys. And, I was sitting, one of the girls pointed out to me, what is that on your lip? I was like, what do you mean? What's on my lip? What are you talking about? And she said, it's like a little red bump on your lip. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Red bump on my lip? I don't got no bumps on my lip. What do y'all look like having bump lip? So I look, she gave me like her little makeup mirror, right? And then I see it, and it's like a red glistening sore bump on my lip. So I'm like, okay, what in the hell is this? So right off the bat, I start panicking because you know what that means, right? There's only two things that means: either a cold sore or herpy lip. So either she gave me herp lip or I just got a cold sore, right? So I thought it was a cold sore because she was a clean girl. Like she wasn't like that. Like she only literally had like two bodies. It was her ex and it was me, right? So she only had like two bodies at the time. So she wasn't really like dirty like that, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't expect her to have something like that. So that's why I thought it was just a cold sore at the time. So I kind of just ignored it because I was like, okay, she's not like that. You know, that happens to me sometimes. I get like little tiny little cold sores and stuff. So I thought nothing of it at the time until all of a sudden when I went home, I woke up the next morning for school and then all of a sudden my whole mouth is covered in red herp lip. So my whole mouth was covered in red rash. So I was like, oh no, this girl gave me herpes. She gave me herp lip. So I'm like, okay, there ain't no way she just gave me herp lip, bro. There ain't no way she gave me herp lip. You know, it blew my mind when I found out she gave me herp lip. So, understandably, I was angry. I was pissed off, bro. I was mad as hell. So I stormed up to that school and I wore a mask. So I had a Darth Vader mask on. Like breathe like I was breathing with that stuff on because I didn't want people to see my face and stuff. And I went up to her and I was like, me and you, we gotta talk. I mean, obviously I didn't say it like that because I had the Darth Vader mask on. It sounded like some me and you have to talk. I said something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we talked and she was over here laughing at me. She was laughing at me like, ain't nothing funny. Like, I don't care if I got the Darth Vader mask on. Ain't nothing funny about this. Like, you gave me herp lip. So I talked to her and she was like, I was like, you know what you did. I know, you know what you did. So why'd you do this? She was like, you should have not messed with me. I was like, what do you mean mess with you? I wasn't messing with you. She was like, yes, you was. Because you didn't want to date me anymore. You rejected me after I just told my feelings for you and you just treated them like there was nothing. So I messed up your boyish charm look. So she said she messed up my looks because I was quote unquote playing with her feelings. I'm like, what are you talking about? How was I playing with your feelings, dude? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I said, dude, out of one kiss, are you kidding me? She was like, it wasn't just the kiss. It was everything. And I just wanted to be with you again, but you decided to treat me like trash. So I'm like, okay. So what was going through my mind was, where did you even get the herp from? Like, where'd you get the herp lip? So I decided to ask her that, where'd you get the herpes lip from? And she was like, I know a guy. Like, what are you talking about? You know a guy with herp lip. Why are you talking to dudes that have herpes? And then she was like, no, I'm not talking to him. I just wanted to give it to you because you decided to mess with me. Play with my heart, play with my feelings. So I'm like, all right, so now you tripping. And you just cost me a ton of money to get this herp lip removed. You know what I'm saying? I got it removed. I don't have it no more, obviously. I was actually a cure for it for a while because they said it didn't, like, usually that stuff doesn't go away like that, but mine's went away pretty quick. So, they just started to do blood tests on me and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, like, are you serious right now? You don't do this stuff. You don't do this. You don't do that. I declined you because it's free will. It's free choice. I wanted to decline you. I don't want to date you no more. That's it. That's the facts. Like, why are you upset about me doing that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, we went our separate ways. She eventually moved schools. I saw her at this other school I was going to as well. Like, during, like, it was called Career Center. Like, I saw her, like, during those days. But she moved to schools, and throughout the day, she just, like, gave me, like, little hand waves and stuff like that, and things like that, and I just gave her little, like, heads-up nods, like, I gave her little nods and stuff, so, it was pretty clear from there, but, yeah, that's the story time of when, I caught herp lip. And I instantly regretted it. It was a weird time. It was really weird. I don't recommend it on anybody. Make sure y'all guys check y'all exes, man. Y'all exes may not be safe and they may be doing some weirdo stuff like that. But hope y'all guys enjoyed this story time video. I know it was pretty crazy, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night, day, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in, and bye.